It's that time of year again, friends, where we are getting our annual Christmas gift from the LOTRO devs, otherwise known as Yuletide Festival. This is an annual winter festival in Lord of the Rings Online, and it is probably one of the best things about this game. Like, I just truly love Yuletide so much. And for those of you who are missing out on this wonderful celebration of Yuletide Festival, I'm gonna tell you all about it in this video by going over Winterhome, where the festival takes place at, going through some of the most memorable quests, and more reasons why I think that this is the best festival in Lord of the Rings Online. But before we can do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, and I'm so happy I got to 2,000 subscribers. That's crazy. But keep watching if you want to hear more about the Yuletide Fest. So like I said, Yuletide Festival is an annual festival within Lord of the Rings Online that we get every winter. It typically starts between December and it normally ends in January. You pretty much get about a month or so to go through all of the quests, and they all are daily repeatable quests that you can do for the most part. So you have plenty of time to get as many rewards as you can. Now I want to stress that this festival is totally open for you to play as any type of player that you are in Lord of the Rings Online. So you don't have to be VIP to play in the Yuletide Fest. You can be a free-to-play player. The only stipulation is that you have to have your character outside of the tutorial, so in the open world. So pretty much same thing goes for every festival and any character. And then you should have an automatic quest or alert that pops up, which the alert or quest will give you a map that will allow you to fast travel into Winterhome. So more or less, because this is an instance area that is not attached to the map on Middle Earth at all, that means that you can only access Winterhome during the Yuletide Festival season, which that makes it even more imperative that you get started on your Winterfest quest right now, because it's a limited time area and Winterhome is really cool, okay? You're probably like, what the heck is Winterhome, Aubrey? And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's pretty much like a winter Breetown. That's what it kind of looks like, but like way smaller, like way smaller. But seriously though, I think they literally just copy and paste the Breetown structures and homes and put that into Winterhome and called it a day, which is totally fine because I love the aesthetics and the vibes. But it's basically this little small Breetown winter time village. When you get into Winterhome though, pretty much right off the gate, you're gonna see this quest up ahead in front of you, and that will trigger your introductory quest and tutorial into Winterhome. So you're basically going to go around and talk to all of the locals and understand more about the politics, and really pay attention to this because Winterhome kind of has like its own mini story. It's nothing like a story quest or anything really tied into the game, but it's really cool, and I think that's something that some other festivals don't really integrate. There's really not any overarching storylines, I feel, in other festivals that kind of show you like the cause and effect of certain choices that people have made. I think that this festival clearly shows it, and more or less without giving away like the whole story of Winterhome, you pretty much just have to choose between whether you're gonna assist the rich or the poor. And you guessed it, there's a little corruption in it, but no, it's definitely a really interesting story, and really rate the quests throughout this because low-key, high-key, there's some spicy drama there. Oh boy, it is crazy. Now, there's more to do in Winterhome besides just that one quest. In fact, one of my favorite side quests is picking up reeking garbage, dirty dishes, cleaning up messy spills. Fun times. Okay, well, there are actual fun quests, but a lot of them are sneaky. Like, one of my favorites is when you have a firework box that you have to light the fireworks and start like this commotion, and then all these patrons are gonna look over at the fireworks, and then you pickpocket them, and then the guards kind of like go crazy trying to like stop the firework. It's so funny. But anyway, you kind of get the vibe that there are a couple of like, you know, quests that you start a little bit of trouble in, like stealing kegs, you know, that was always fun to do too. But there are other festive quests that you can do, like having a snowball fight in the snowball field a little bit outside of Winterhome, and then also you can build your own snowmen, which is awesome because there is a deed with it, and if you want a guide on that, I will be coming out with that soon. How you can get the deed by building all 5 snowmen and where some of their items are. There is a title and a broken snowman associated with this, so I mean, if you want some cool housing decor, I mean, I'm just putting it out there. While there are some housekeeping quests and some festive quests in Winterhome, there are some mobs actually outside of Winterhome that you will probably encounter through doing other quests or gathering some resources outside of Winterhome, which I think also makes this festival really cool because you get to encounter some like actual people to fight while you're like just wandering around trying to like gather your stuff, which I think makes it a little more immersive too. Like it's its own area. And then also there's even these beasts that you gotta like cheer up for the holidays. Like, bro, why are they sleeping at this time of year? They could be sleeping any other time of the year, but why are they sleeping on Yuletide Fest? Another thing I want to highlight too is that there is a food eating contest that you can participate in with other players, and all I'm gonna say about that is always go and eat the berries. Trust me, you'll know what I mean when you get there, but eat the berries, guys, eat the berries. The best part about Winterhome, in my opinion, though, is the theater area. So in this area, you can actually take part in the play if you want to, and there are titles associated with the characters that you play and the performance. So whether you're a protagonist or a villain, there are some really neat titles that you might want to take a look at because they're pretty cool, and I see a lot of people wearing them, so they're like one of my most favorited titles to get that are easy to get. But if you're also like me and you really don't like being on stage, you got a little bit of stage fright, it's okay because you can just throw rotten fruit at people, which is also a deed in the game, but that way you can throw fruit at the bad actors and maybe encourage them to have stage fright because they're going to be terrified of having rotten fruit thrown at them all the time. I will mention too, there is a seasonal instance that is available that I do encourage you to check out just once, but it's in the instance finder and it's only available for the season, aka why it's seasonal instance. But now for the reason that is most important to you all, Yuletide Festival rewards. Now I'm not gonna lie, there are tons of rewards because this is like probably one of the most played festivals, I would assume, with how many rewards there are. Plus, getting through the quests are actually quite easy because they're all in one place, they're all in Winterhome, and they don't really take that long to get through. So getting tokens in this festival and getting those rewards is actually a lot easier in comparison to any other festival I've played yet. So honestly, don't be discouraged by how many rewards there are because you can get quite a lot of tokens in the time that you play in this festival. And I'm gonna be totally honest with you all, these rewards are pretty decent. I actually really love seeing the cosmetic pets that are associated with the Winter Festival, and then also the mounts. Those are like the two I always gun for. Now I know this has kind of been like a whole ramble about the Yuletide Festival, but I truly love this festival. This is honestly a huge highlight for me in this time of year because I'm not like a huge holiday season, like festivities person. And then also, it just gets really cold here in Ohio. I don't like snow being on the ground where I'm slipping and sliding all over the road. I'm not a fan of this season, but Yuletide makes me a fan of this season. This is honestly a top tier Christmas gift that just keeps coming every year, y'all. It's great. Now, like I did say earlier, everyone should have access to the Yuletide Festival, but there is that stipulation that if you're still in the tutorial phase that you won't be able to access the festival. And if that is the case, I recommend you check out my starter guide that I have for LOTRO. It definitely will get you through the tutorial phase and then will kind of give you some basics of the game that you might need to know before you get into the fun stuff like the Yuletide Festival. So I will see you over there at that video, but I just want to remind you all to stay weird, you Yuletide weird weirdos. Okay, that doesn't go, but you get what I mean.